What makes all families the same? My preschool teacher asked the group of 4-year-olds at our feet this question. I could probably argue a lot of things: compassion, bonds, shared living space, but I would like to talk about something different families share: tradition. With all of us away at college, tradition is even more important now. My family has a shared tradition with the Philpoos, a family I have known since before preschool. Several times a year, our families get together for game night, a tradition which has positive effects on both of our families. First, let's look at why this tradition was formed. It actually began after another one ended, which was camping with my childhood friends over the summer. We used to camp with other families, but over time we distanced from each other. However, we always felt nostalgic for those times, especially with the Philpoos. So a few years later, one night, we invited them over for dinner. We ended up playing Monopoly for over 6 hours, and from that one dinner and one game of Monopoly, a game night was formed. Now, on or around every major holiday, the McShays and the Philpoos get together for game night. My mom always bakes a cake to mark their arrival, and after about a few hours of dinner and catching up, the 8 of us get together and play games. Monopoly, Life, and charades are always fun, but our favorite is definitely Codenames. To provide context, Codenames is a guessing game which involves 2 teams and 2 code masters who will give clues to their respective team. However, if you guess certain items wrong, you lose the game. This always adds to the intensity as we are all very competitive people. Tensions run high, arguments are frequent, but it's always in good fun. Even though it's just a game, our passion and competitive spirits always come through, which add to the excitement. Now let's look at the effects this tradition produced. Primarily, it kept us connected and still in each other's lives. Most of my current friendships are fairly recent, so it's always nice to catch up with people you haven't seen in a while to reflect. We also consider the Philpoos to be our designated local family as a result. My extended family lives on the East Coast, so back home it's just our immediate family, which is just the 4 of us. So having these dinners gave us a larger extended family without having to travel across the country for it. To sum it up, forming game night bonded both our families. We don't see the Philpoos a whole lot, but when we do, it is always for hours on end. Finally, besides our game nights, we tend to lead fairly separate lives, but we have never stopped maintaining this connection through game night.
Okay, Maria, how did that go?
I